Don't mess with her. But it's just my cup of tea.
Making money like a mint. Laying in my ice like shrimp.
Hey, it's Diane and welcome to the Cultivate with Courage YouTube channel. I am so excited today because we're doing another book review. And the book that we are reviewing today is... Before we get started today, don't forget to subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and share your comments so that way I know what you think about the videos. The book giveaway is still open, so make sure that you read the video description to enter for your chance to win. Let's talk about it. Hood Feminism. This is another book of essays. The tagline for this book is Notes from the Woman That a Movement Forgot. The author is Mikki Kendall, and you do not want to mess with her. So, I'll tell you why I love this book. First of all, it is strong, it is powerful, it is inspiring. It is not for the faint of heart. So ladies, clutch your pearls now, because if you get offended easily and you can't take it like it is, you might not want to read this book. But it's just my cup of tea. So here's really what Hood Feminism is about. It is about calling out mainstream feminism for failing women of color and addressing and acknowledging that mainstream feminism isn't feminism for all women. The focus of mainstream feminism is focused on improving the comfort of white middle-class women. It does not address the issues that are faced by women of color. It does not address the issues that are faced by the working poor. So the reason that this book has such a profound impact on me personally is because I've really been challenging my place in certain conversations, and also whether or not those conversations, my voice, my time, my energy, are serving those priorities and those issues that I find are the most important to me. Let me just go through a couple of topics. First of all, Mikki Kendall, she is awesome. I've already told you that. Don't mess with her. She starts off this book and her dedication is to the hood. The hood who taught me the tools, the South Side, direct side, forever. There are so many great topics in here. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but every topic that addresses people of color, marginalized, working poor, are going to be addressed in here. And it is a call to awakening. It is a book that has to be required reading for all women, especially those who are still trying to fight for access to basic needs for survival. So let's go into just a few essay topics that really resonated with me and why you should absolutely read it. I declare myself to be a flaming feminist, okay? I'm talking about RBG, Melinda Gates, all those women who are paving the way. And until I read Hood Feminism by Mikki Kendall, did I realize that I'd only been exposed to mainstream feminism. Now, what is mainstream feminism? So mainstream feminism is calling out the reality and the truth that today feminism only is solidarity, and mainstream feminism is focused on increasing the comfort and existing privileges for middle-class white women. It is not about addressing the needs of the working poor, addressing the needs of women of color, those types of issues. Also, it very clearly points out that mainstream feminism also oppresses other women and women of color specifically, which is why we can't f with him. So as a woman of color, I am going to go hard for hood feminism, for feminism that serves me, serves my people, and tells our stories, brought light to the oppressive circumstances that women are struggling with across the globe. So I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. But after reading that book, I feel like that's not my story. Like, those aren't my people that she's trying to convince. that Melinda Gates story is a tug on the heart for white women to help those that are in need, instead of calling out the issues that are still happening today in America, in our communities, in our school systems, in our healthcare, in our fight for hunger. Again, like, this is our story and I love it, and why we're talking about it on the channel. In her essay about fast-tailed girls, what was really eye-opening for me was the fact that she addresses that colored girls, black and brown girls, are essentially treated to be more mature than white girls their same age. So a white girl that's 8 years old is going to be seen, right, or assumed to have virtue and be innocent and all of those things, which they absolutely are, right? But a black or brown girl is expected and assumed to be so much older than she already is, having to take on so many different responsibilities and understanding of, you know, the society that she comes from. So I really appreciated that, because I think that that is absolutely true. And I think that it's something that as a mother, as an aunt, that we really need to look at. It's really also about addressing these issues head on within our own communities. So the most important message, and what I love the most about this book, and I actually read this earlier, you know, this year, but I found it very timely for everything that we have going on, is really around, we do not need white women to save us. White women have failed us, is pretty much what we're saying here. 53% of white women chose a man over the needs of all women. So all women, meaning women who have no access to healthcare, women who are living under the poverty line, women who are being abused, victims of sex crimes, all of these things, right, they are being overlooked by mainstream feminism, because again, they're looking at a white man versus the needs of all women. So that's why we are calling out mainstream feminism and our call, our awakening. This is an awakening to black and brown and indigenous, all women of color, to cisgender, all of us, to know that we cannot depend on white America to save anything. We have to continue to move forward and fight for the issues, for equity, for everything that we are entitled to, and not be made to feel subclass, not worthy. So as a hood feminist, one of the other main points is women are valuable regardless of their skin color. So just because I am Hispanic or you're black or we are women of color, that does not make us any less valuable than a white woman. So the fact that I'm having, or we in general are having to try to convince you that we are deserving, or we are being abused, or, you know, we are victims of certain issues, is an issue, right? Because again, for us, this is a call to action. Here is just one of the many mic drops that you're going to get from this book. Mikki Kendall, in her book about allies, anger, and accomplices. Politeness as filtered through fragility and supremacy isn't about manners. It's about a methodology of controlling the conversation. And what I appreciate about that so much is their story, right? And their narrative is not our narrative and not our story. We cannot depend on them. The other thing that Mikki Kendall does a great job of articulating in her book, which is why she is a published and very respected author, is around the words that white women, this book is not a what can I do to help you? Like, this is the point for you to step back, because we are helping ourselves. We are more than capable for fighting our own and, you know, telling our own stories and, you know, demanding for equity and the things that we need, because we do not need, you know, people that are outside of us and our circle and our experiences to speak and tell us what we need. So again, like, If you are a white woman and you think that you support women of color, or you're not racist because you have a black neighbor, or you have work colleagues that are Hispanic, or your children go to school and in a public school system, and you do support Black Lives Matter, but you just don't understand some of the views that are being pushed in that agenda. If you really want to challenge your feminism and whether or not you really do have a lens for all women versus just the privileged white women, then I challenge you to read this book because it's bomb. It's great. Also, I don't know that every black and brown woman is going to relate to this story, because it is direct, it is blunt, it is to your face, it is what it is. There is no apologies, and that is intentionally, and what I love about this book, right? So that there is my type of energy. So I resonated with this book because so many of her personal experiences were addressed here. And so if you attempt to read this book and hold a mirror to yourself, you're either going to be defensive, or you're going to be put off, or you're going to be in tears. So don't do that. But if you really want to hear what's going on, and you really want to know what feminism means, and why we have to go hard for our people and continue to be unapologetic about what we demand and where our stories will be shared and all of those things, read the damn book. You know how I feel about authors that narrate their own book. She does, she narrates, and I will tell you, you better be ready because she is on one. So I give Hood Feminism 5 out of 5 stars, 10 out of 10, whatever. I'm gonna find some type of measuring system that I will use for reviews. But this book is by another diverse voice, another woman. All my feels, all the love, all the respect. Absolutely listen, and I challenge you to hear these essays, and I hope that it gives you all the love, the courage, and inspiration that you need to own your story and your voice. To wrap up, listen to this book, keep it hood, keep it moving, and use your voice. We have your back, and let's all be feminists. Until next time, cultivate with courage.